Hello, I'm Dave, co-founder of Social Shifters. This is the Social Shifters podcast. In this podcast, I'll be speaking to incredible young people from all over the world, leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs, all tackling social and environmental issues that matter to them most. Listen in to hear top tips from some of the most incredible young minds on the planet. Joseph, hello and welcome to the Social Shifters podcast. Thank you for joining me today from Nigeria. It's really great to have you here. Joseph is the winner this year of our education special category. So Joseph, congratulations on finishing top of that category this year. A lot of competition in that education category. How did it feel to come out on top at the end of the process?
It feels so great. I was really honored. I felt so emotional when I received the mail that we got selected as the top in that category, because it wasn't just for me alone, but for the kids that we are trying to reach out there with access to skills, access to education that can give them an edge, that can help them build their future and help them propel their community, solve problems around them. I mean, it was an exciting journey for me. It was an exciting moment for me and my team at Peddle Ilabs. And we are so grateful to Social Shifters for that. Thank you.
It's an awesome idea. And what was interesting, I think, was that you came with Peddle Ilabs as a concept to our 2021 program. And I think you got to a certain point in the program that year, but you then decided to come back in 2022 to the program again, and you were able to get to those finals and deliver a successful pitch in the end. So before we dive into the detail, I'm interested, what was your kind of journey there, and what brought you back for the second year to give it another try?
Okay, so thank you very much for that wonderful question. In 2021, when I saw Social Shifters and I got to know there is a program that would have so much impact on what I'm trying to do, reach younger kids with education. I did the application, I got selected, but then I was just myself. And in some part of the program, I got to know that, okay, I cannot do this alone, because the whole journey of building the enterprise was so much heavy on me. And combining that with my studies, it was very, very hectic for me. So I couldn't even focus. So what I took from there was the idea and the concept of, okay, having people work with me. So I went back and got to get teammates so we can do this together, people that share the same vision with me and want to put out the same positive change. So I got on the team, we built our team, and we were able to come back for 2022. Having so many persons working on the team, we were able to share the responsibilities evenly amongst ourselves. And the end was just success, because I could focus more. I could have more time to study, attend the sections during the incubation process and all of that. So it really helped.
We're super glad that you came back for a second year, obviously, and getting to this point in the journey. And an incredible message, I think, for other young people, other shifters maybe who weren't successful the previous attempt or their first attempt, that it is worth coming back for a second go or a third go, because every year there are more prizes, more grant funding awards and more opportunities. So, and also interesting that for you it was bringing a team together to deliver this. That was one of the kind of key differentiators. So look, we'll go into that a little bit later on in the conversation in more detail, about really what's brought you this far in the journey. But first, I really want to get into your idea, starting really with the problem that you're addressing in Nigeria. So can you help me and anyone watching to understand what is happening where you are in the world, and what are the kind of issues that you are tackling locally with Peddle Ilabs?
Okay, so thank you very much for that wonderful question and the whole establishment of our previous participation. So at Peddle Ilabs, we are focused on connecting students from remote areas to education. First off, what really inspired us and allowed us to go into this was because the United Nations came together and they brought about the Sustainable Development Goals, trying to see how inclusivity can be achieved, sustainability and all of that. So our project focuses on goal number 4, access to quality education and all of that. So looking around the world, seeing what is going on, we are having numbers of displaced children going up. In fact, UNICEF has reported that over 37 million children are currently displaced around the world. These 37 million children, about 11 million of them are from my country, Nigeria. That's a quite huge number, and this is a problem that is going to affect everyone, even though if we say it is not directly happening to us, it's going to affect us in one way or the other. This whole displacement issue is caused by conflict, escalating crises happening around the world, and of course our biggest challenge, climate issues. When all of this happen, education is being put on hold. So with some sort of thoughts, how can we address this? Using technology, we know that technology can help us reach a wider audience, a wider beneficiary, and all of that. So yeah, I started working on the idea, but I discovered that I couldn't do it alone. So I had to reach out to other persons that share the same vision with me, and then we form a team. So yeah, currently we've been able to impact over 5,000 kids around the world here in Nigeria, in Benue State, where we are currently running our project full time with access to education. Here in Benue State, there is this crisis going on between the farmers and the herders. So that has displaced a lot of children. So when they get displaced, they move into communities, into host communities. So there are no structures on ground as internally displaced persons come to house them. So where these people go, in the host communities is schools. So when they move to these communities, they turn their schools to their home. They become their home. So the children that are being displaced from where the crises are happening, and the children where the displaced persons are being housed, both are affected because the displaced persons are converting their schools into refugee camps, internally displaced persons camp. So the number keeps going up, and with some sort of thoughts, how can we address this using sustainability models and all of that? So we brought about Peddle Ilabs. So we designed our innovative solution is a mobile and digital classroom that we've designed to fit in a box. So it's powered by solar energy, so it can be taken anywhere, provided there is sun. You can always have power on the box. We have mini computers on the box. Currently, our design accommodates a minimum of 50 computers. And then we have the software part of it, which contains gamified learning content. So even without the help of a tutor, a teacher in real life with those kids in those places, like in the IDP camps or anywhere they find themselves, they are able to learn because we have structured the whole technology to serve as a personal tutor as well. And it's interactive. So, and then it's gamified. So there's an excitement to learn, and in a new way, but even in a much better way.
Before we go into the detail of your idea, because it's a really, we're dealing with a very serious and difficult and complex issue here, but your idea to address it is so interesting, and there's some fun in there, I would suggest, in terms of how the technology actually works. But to help me, I guess, and and other listeners and people watching this understand the issue in the classroom setting, I guess. So we have, correct me if I'm wrong here, but we have a lot of internally displaced children through internal conflict in the country largely, and so internal refugees, if you like, that are in rural settings where I'm guessing schools are in fairly small numbers and have limited amount of resources and a limited amount of teachers, I would imagine, smaller rural schools, and they sound like they're being overloaded. So that's not great for any of the children that are in those rural communities anyway, and the ones that are displaced and coming to these schools. So am I right in thinking that the classroom is overloaded and struggling for resource to teach all of these children adequately? Can you help us understand what is the situation in these classrooms for teachers and for the children?
Okay, so in most rural communities here in Africa, narrowing down to Nigeria, we have problem of connectivity, one, and they are from resource constraint settings. They have zero internet, zero electricity. There is so much population in the school, and there is a limited number of teachers to even come up with and attend to the students. So our solution, focusing on education, we focus on displaced children, and then we focus on the ones that are not displaced, that still have access to go to school. But them having access to go to school, they are not being taught, or they are not having the skills to navigate the 21st century, because come on now, digital technology, digital skills is the future. If you don't have skills, if you don't have access to this technology, even when you graduate from school, like most of them, they graduate from school, but they do not have access to the job market. They can't navigate the job market because they do not know how to operate a computer or navigate a computer and all of that. So what our technology does is helping them have the skills, and then at the same time is helping them have access to education, the classroom education. So it's either they can still come to school and they still have access to our technology to learn in the school, or we take the technology to them in the home and they can still learn. So this is some sort of dropping the traffic, the load, the workload on schools in rural communities in Africa, where we have piloted our solutions so far. So students are being able to have access to more resources, because on the system we are able to gather more resources, libraries, and all of that. There's connectivity, there's collaboration. We are giving them access to the real world, how stuff are being done in the real world using this technology. So yeah, this is what we are doing with this technology, and this is how it's helping kids from resource constrained settings and the remote communities have access to quality learning and quality education, and also digital skills.
And that is really, I think, why you've won this category. It's really tackling this issue in a super intelligent and resourceful way on multiple fronts. So you've given little bits of information here about your concept, but I don't know if you've got anything you can show. Maybe we can bring in an image or a video of your innovation here at this point in the conversation. But yeah, explain, can you, for me and anyone listening, all of the components of Peddle Ilabs, and yeah, how you're really solving many areas of a complex issue here with your solution.
Okay, so thank you very much. So first off, we have, I would like to start from the basic. We have the power generation unit. So that's like a solar panel. So the solar panel converts the sun rays into electrical energy. Then we channel this electrical energy into batteries. on the box. So the box houses computers, mini computers. So currently we are operating at the capacity of 50 mini computers on a single unit. So on each computer, we have the resources in software format. The resources in software format, they are gamified. So we produce all of these gamified resources in line with the state government, the federal government of Nigeria's stated curriculum for education at every level that we are benefiting, where our beneficiaries are making use of our technology. So yeah, the whole box contains that. So, and another good feature of this technology is that we have developed it in a way that it can be taken to remote areas where there is zero connectivity. So it can work offline, that's off the grid, and it can work online. So if you are operating in an area where there is no connectivity, you do not have access to the internet, we recommend that you take these systems to where you can have access to internet after 3 weeks. So what that does to the system is we share data. We are able to connect a particular unit to our central server at our office. So the resources that we've created for that period of time will be updated on the unit that is being used in an area that has zero access to the internet and all of that. So with this, we are able to monitor for user performance data. We are able to collect, we are able to share this data. We are able to monitor the performance of our students, the beneficiaries, and all of that. And then this is helping to reduce the workload on the teachers. So the teacher can just bring the box into the classroom, give it to the students, tell them where they need to learn at this particular time. So one single teacher can actually be teaching like 4 classrooms simultaneously because, yeah, they have access to our technology and it's being deployed in the classroom there, and voila, it's
Yes,
super amazing.
it really is. So yeah, you're helping them to generate power from a sustainable, renewable source, solar. You're providing the mini computers, the tablets, the equipment for them to learn on, and you're providing the software and learning materials that they are using for learning. And yeah, my question was going to be what happens when in a rural community there is no connectivity, but I think you've answered that question. The devices can be preloaded, and for your own kind of data collection or upgrade, I guess, or for new resources, you need to take them to a source at some point in the year to have those updated and to have that data. But they work without the connectivity, without an internet connection. It really is an incredible idea, and the end result, I'm guessing, is a higher quality of education, because you have teachers that are able to deliver learning to more students at a higher level and maybe spend more time with one-on-one with students who need it. Quite incredible. I did want to mention one thing, or ask about one thing. Obviously the name Peddle Ilabs. So and I think this relates potentially to the first iteration. This, when you came to us in 2021 program, I seem to remember there was pictures of someone pedaling on a bike. Have I got that right? And can you elaborate on that, the name Peddle Ilabs, and where that came from?
Yeah, so looking at where I come from the background where I come from a rural community where the road is bad and all of that. So when the idea first came to me and I was designing the project and all of that, I some sort of was thinking how easy it was going to be to deliver the technology to a place like where I'm coming from. So my first design, the first prototype was designed to be on a bicycle, because a bicycle can be easily used in the rural community in Africa here where the roads are bad, can easily navigate around schools and all of that. So it was going to help for the mobility issue. And then we attached a dynamo to the system because we are able to generate power from there and all of that. Okay, it was a prototype. We tested it and we discovered that, okay, that was not going to be sustainable because it was going to actually limit the extension of the idea, the product, and all of that. So we went back to the drawing board and we started designing and thinking again. So we discovered that, yeah, we could still do something that can be movable. It can still be mobile, but this time not be on a bicycle alone. Let's just have it in a box. So with the box, it can be wheeled, one. Secondly, it can be carried on a motorcycle and still on a bicycle and still in a car. So it can be taken anywhere to deliver high quality learning to students who are beneficiaries that we want to reach. So the name Peddle Ilabs came from there. And then because the lab was to be pedaled on a bicycle, and then you understand that it can be taken from one place to another. So like you pedal it from one place to another. So it's not a fixed technology and all of that. So yeah, it's an amazing name through the whole idea and the whole concept of how we started. So yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at your old application actually, and I saw that, and I saw some of the pictures, and yeah, I had it in my head that maybe there was a classroom full of children pedaling at the same time as using this device, which yeah, was kind of a fun idea. But yeah, so it's interesting that you've iterated and you've adapted your concept, and you find something that is more practical and that works. So I think that's interesting to hear. I guess the other thing I'm keen to explore, Joseph, is you. You as a person, as an individual, as an entrepreneur. You're obviously a student, or were you were studying as well at one time, perhaps still are. What motivated you to do this? What's driving you here, and your team, but you in particular? Was there a moment? Was there a catalyst? Was there yeah? What help us understand what drives you?
So this whole idea is just about my whole life, and I grew up losing my parents at a very tender age. I think around 7 years old. I could still remember all of that due to some social issues and all of that, coming from a rural area, a remote area where we have limited access to resources and all of that. So I went through a lot of challenges in affording an education. And I some sort of thought how, just like my story, there are some other kids around the world who are going through the same problem. I was so fortunate that I was able to be rescued from that problem. I'm able to be in school. I'm able to attend school and all of that. But some of them may not have or may not be so privileged to escape that. So I decided to see how I can help address that issue, because I believe that if these kids are being given access to education, if I help them have access to quality education, skills, this would help them build better their future. And this would help them build better their communities. It will help them develop ideas, concepts that would uplift their communities. And by so doing, I'm building a community of change makers. I'm building a community of people that are going to be active global citizens. So yeah, my inspiration came from that. So thank you very much. And I'm glad that Social Shifters, you're helping me to achieve this. I'm so happy for what you've helped me to achieve so far.
It's all you, Joseph. Really, it's all been you and your team, and really, but we're happy to be able to provide a level of support here. But so you guys really have done the hard work, and it's inspiring to hear your story, and that you want to help others as you have been helped. So yeah, I think that's a yeah, quite a beautiful message for others who yeah are feel strongly that they'd like to impact an issue where they are in the world, and yeah, aren't quite sure where to go or how to start. So thank you for sharing that with us. Where do you want to take this, Joseph? Where do you and your team want to go? You're kind of early on in your journey, but already achieving a level of success. You've been able to bring us at Social Shifters along on your journey. You've been able to convince a panel of expert judges that your idea is worthy of investment and is already having a level of impact. So what is next for you? Do you want to expand and scale what you're doing? Do you have other ideas for helping the same kind of displaced children in Nigeria? What is in your future? And what's your kind of your vision? Where would you like to go?
So thank you very much. So before now, thinking from myself, I was just a little kid, a little young man trying to put out change, trying to solve the problem around my community. But having a more exposure to what the problem is, I discovered that the problem is a global issue and all of that. Yeah, we've started from Nigeria, but we have a vision to expand to the whole world. We've already started with the help we've gotten from Social Shifters, all the support. We're already putting in plans to expand to other states here in Nigeria. And our vision is to connect 50,000 beneficiaries. These are our students in the next 5 years. We were just in 1 year of our journey, and we've been able to impact 5,000 already, and we are still counting. So we already seen that this is a vision that can be achieved, and we are not stopping. We will keep moving, because what we want to do is to address the gap in education, and until that is done, we would not stop. We'll keep moving. We'll keep doing it. So thank you very much.
Well, that is good to hear. And that you've already impacted a large number of people, but your plan is to increase that dramatically over the coming years. What is the very next thing for you, Joseph, and the team? Given you've received a bit of grant funding from Shifters. Maybe you're seeing some other success in other competitions and grant funding opportunities. Is that what is that going to allow you and the project to do in the next 6 months?
Okay, so in the next 6 months, we've already started working on that already. We've actually gotten another office in Maiduguri. Maiduguri is one of the states in northern Nigeria where there is so much conflict going on, the Boko Haram crisis. So many students are displaced, so many children are displaced, they are not going to school and all of that. So in the next 6 months, we are looking at having an impact of over 12,000 students combined with 5,000 that we already have, because in Maiduguri, the numbers are high as well as in Benue State. So we've gotten an office already. What we need to do is to go in and start operations. Now we are actually talking to schools, because our plan and our strategy of entering in a particular community is that we use the teachers in that community, because we will not always be there, but the teachers would always be there because it's their community and all of that. So we are linking up with the teachers. We are seeing how we will build a network with the teachers. So we are currently in the process of building this network. Once we are done, we'll equip them with the resources that they need to understand on how to navigate our technology and all of that. And we'll launch fully in Maiduguri. In the next 3 months, we're going to launch, and our impact will keep growing, we keep reaching more beneficiaries and like that.
Well, we can't wait to see what you have in store, Joseph. And we'd love to have you back have a conversation with you in 6 months or a year's time to see, what's happening and where you are, because it sounds like you've got a lot of exciting work ahead with the project. I guess with your project and in particular, an interesting component is that you've been involved in both programs in the last couple of years, the 2021 program and the 2022 Global Innovation Challenge program, and you had some realizations during that period. So I wondered if we could just finish exploring those, really in the hope that anyone else watching this who's maybe looking at applying to the Global Innovation Challenge for the first time, or maybe considering whether it's worth applying a second time, maybe they weren't successful in their first attempt. Can you tell us a little bit about your progression over the last 2 years, and why you decided to come back to the 2022 program, and I guess what you think is different. What's different the second time round that's brought you to the finals and on as a winner?
Okay, so first off, when I started, I was new. I had no ideas of how most of the things should be done and all of that. When I got into the first program, I was being exposed to all of this. Even though I knew that I had no the capacity then to pull off and become top winner in the program, I didn't just go off like that. I still went through the program up to the time of pitching and all of that. So when I gained those experiences helped me to go back and connect the dots in a better way, fix where I need to fix, and that actually gave my organization the success that we've been able to achieve this year. And for those that would want to still come back, like myself, if you participated before and you think you're still passionate about the idea because the problem you want to solve is still out there, please, I encourage you to still go on and participate. We are so lucky that Social Shifters would always give us the opportunity to keep applying and all of that. So yeah, is my encouragement to you that you should keep applying, and until when you're able to solve the problem, even if you don't win, you shouldn't give up because the problem is still there. You should ensure that the problem you want to solve is solved before you can relax, you can go to bed. So
what do you think were the benefits of coming back as a team in the second year versus maybe doing this solo as a solo founder?
Okay, so the benefits of coming back as a team was that I could share taxes among my team members. We could focus more on the program because we were actually having more opinions from different angles. Unlike when I was alone, I could just think on my own and go ahead and implement. But with my team members, with the entire team, we were able to sit back, we do meetings, we do back and forth, and whenever we make a decision, the decision is always helping us come out better because from different thoughts, the whole team members are able to envision from their own perspective, and then we put it together, and yeah, that helped a lot in achieving the success we've been able to attain in the program this year.
I think it's a really good pointer or piece of advice for anyone listening, Joseph, who's applied or is thinking about applying or going through any grant funding processes. To persevere, which is what you did over the period of 2 years, and B, the benefits that come from participating as part of a team or a group, that collaborative effort and the different perspectives and opinions, and I guess some of the momentum that comes with having a team of people rather than feeling like you have to go alone. So thanks for sharing that with us. And yeah, thank you for persevering and for coming back to the program. We're really delighted that you did, and that you came through and delivered that incredible pitch, and were selected by our panel to receive the grant funding this year. So yeah, we're super pleased for you, and yeah, we really look forward to seeing where you go in future.
Thank you so much from my entire team, and from our beneficiaries, because they are the center of it all. If they don't exist, we don't exist. So we are so grateful. Like when I went back to one of the camps that we are reaching students with access, and I broke the news to them, they were so happy because they knew that with the support that we've gotten from social shifters, they are going to have access to better resources. They are going to have access to more hardwares, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It has been an amazing journey. My team, my friends around, when they go on my social media page, when they see, I got shocked in one of the announcements on the social shifters platform, the social media platform, when they quoted what I said about how I began and what I wanted to do. It brought tears to my eyes. It wasn't tears of agony, but it was tears of joy, because I felt like I'm doing something. I've been able to turn my sad story into a joyful story, and I'm able to put smiles on the faces of those that are passing through the agony moment that I passed through my life. And it has been an amazing. I'm so grateful to the entire team, the social shifter team, and the sponsors of the grant section that we won, and also to my mentor during the program. He was an amazing instrument in me winning the program at this moment, because he gave me his time. He gave me everything that I needed. I would call him on WhatsApp. He told me I could reach him anytime, and I did, and he was always there to help me. I'm sure if he's watching this video, he will be super proud of me and the entire team. We are so grateful to him.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that, Joseph. And yeah, we will make sure that your mentor hears that message. And yeah, look, we're just delighted and proud of you that that you're doing what you're doing. So yeah, you should be super pleased, super proud, as should the rest of your team. And yeah, I can just congratulate you again. And you are an inspiration to others. That's the reality of it. And yeah, so yeah, well done again. And thank you for joining me today and sharing some of your story, sharing some insights into the issue that you're tackling in the part of the world that you're from, to your own personal kind of motivations, and yeah, for telling us how the experience has moved you forward. So really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Goodbye to everyone watching. I love you. And Peddle Ilabs, we love you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you.
If you want to learn more about social shifters and how we can help you to impact the social or environmental issues that matter to you most, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us on Instagram and Spotify.